Hey, this is Hank. I just wanted to make a presentation for anyone who is wondering what my plan is and to give an example for anyone who would like one for a beginner slash intermediate weight training program. So I run push-pull legs, which, as the name implies, you do push day, so chest and triceps and shoulders, and then pull day, back and biceps, and then legs, which is obviously legs. And then I rest on Sunday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday push-pull legs, Thursday, Friday, Saturday push-pull legs, and Sunday rest. You can add in some more rest days if you want, but this is my plan, and here's my presentation based on it. Some notes before I give this presentation. Hypertrophy is higher rep based training, usually in the 10 plus range. Its focus is on muscle building. Strength training is on usually lower reps, in the 3 to 6 range usually. Its focus is strength building. A 1RM is short for a 1 rep max, which is the most weight you can lift for one repetition on exercise. So for example, if you can lift 200, if you can do 255 pounds on the bench for 1 rep, that would be your 1 rep max. Bodybuilders are weightlifters whose main goals are hypertrophy related, which means having the biggest muscles or most aesthetic body. Powerlifters are weightlifters whose main goals are strength related, which is improving 1 rep maxes or lifting the most weight possible. I guess you can throw in strongmen in there, but they're kind of a separate thing from powerlifters. Hypertrophy and strength gains, while not the same, are very closely correlated, which means usually the guy with the biggest muscles will be the strongest, but not always. There is a little bit of difference in the most elite sections of those types of weightlifters. Power builders are weightlifters whose main goals fall somewhere in the middle between bodybuilders and powerlifters, which is people who want to get bigger and stronger, which is the majority of beginner slash intermediate weightlifters. I'm a power builder. 99% of the people in the gym are power builders. Unless you just only care about strength or, I don't say 99%, like the majority, at least, of weightlifters are power builders because they care about both getting bigger and getting stronger. They aren't sure, like at the elite level, you don't see many power builders. You see bodybuilding. Yeah, they kind of have to choose what they're good at and go into that subcategory. But at the beginner slash intermediate level, almost everyone is a power builder. One more thing, this is a generalized power building program, which means the following. Number 1, this program has workouts optimized for both strength and hypertrophy gains, which is why you'll see a push day for hypertrophy and a push day for strength. And number 2, this is not the most optimal program for advanced powerlifters or bodybuilders, obviously. Advanced powerlifters will focus more on strength, obviously, and bodybuilders more on hypertrophy. Number 3, feel free to mix up the exercise selection or order after the main compound lift you're liking. This is just an example. You're obviously going to want to keep the bench, squat, and deadlift at the number 1 spot, so that can be your first lift, so you're not fatigued for that. But for all the other accessory stuff, you can mix that up however you want. That's just an example of how I do it. With that all out of the way, let's get started with push day for hypertrophy. My push day for hypertrophy includes the following, and you'll see for hypertrophy, usually you're going to want to do sets. For the bigger lifts, you're going to want to do sets of 8 reps in the 8 to 12 range would be good. So like start with a weight you can hit for 8 and then work up until you can hit it for 12 and then up the weight. This weight should usually be roughly 80 to 85% of your 1 rep max. Depending on how many reps you're doing. The 80 is going to be closer to 85. The 8 reps is going to be closer to 85. The 12 reps is going to be closer to 80 usually. So bench press, obviously, it works chest, triceps, and shoulders. And standing overhead press to isolate the shoulders a little better. Close grip bench press to isolate the triceps a little bit better. Optional, if you're still not fully fatigued from all this, you can do one more set. Well, not one more set, but an extra set that is push-ups to failure, to just use up all the extra energy you have in your pushing muscles. And then finally, for purely aesthetic purposes, we can do lateral raises. These are lighter and more hypertrophic, I guess would be the word, in nature. So you're gonna want to do. I can't speak. Higher. You can even up the amount of sets and do even higher reps in 15. That's just a template. And use whatever dumbbells you have. You can do lighter for way more, or you can do heavier for 15-ish. Next up is the deadlift. Pull day for hypertrophy, starting with, I should say, the deadlift. 2 to 3 sets of, and you'll notice all the big lifts, the deadlift, the rows, same thing as the push day, 80, the same scheme, 8 to 12 reps, 80 to 85% 1 rep max. Now, the reason I say 2 to 3 sets of deadlift is deadlifts are very fatiguing on your entire posterior chain. So if you're feeling it, go for the 3, but if not, stick with the 2, because then if you go too hard on deadlifts, you may not be able to do the rows with perfect form or near perfect form, which means you'll not be optimizing your back gain. So if you're feeling super up to it, if you're feeling really energetic, hit the 3 sets, but if not, I'd stick with the 2 personally. Next is I got the pendulum rows. Those are the ones where you put it down on the floor. Those are just my preferred variation. You can do any sort of rows if you want. You can also, I have a home gym. I should have said this earlier, but I have a home gym. No machines. I got a squat rack and 350 pounds in plates. So that's just me. Next, you can hit the weighted crunches. I just throw in abs in my pull day because I didn't know a better place to put them. Weighted crunches, 3 sets of at least 10. If you don't even need to be weighted. If you can do if 10 crunches is enough to make you go to failure, hit that. Just don't do like 5 because then your form will be bad, and abs are more of a aesthetic muscle in nature anyway. So ab training at least. Next, we are going to isolate the rear delt with some lying rear delt flies. That's just a rear delt fly while I'm lying down on my bench. I would use a machine, like a cable machine, but I don't have that, obviously. Use whatever dumbbells are available. Same thing with the lat raise, same scheme there. And lastly, we're going to hit barbell curl for the biceps. You can do more than 3 sets if you want. I maybe even go up to like 5. Same thing for the rear delt flies. And abs even, I'd say. For 10 to 20 reps would be good on the barbell curl. For our final hypertrophy day, we're going to go with legs, starting with an old classic, the barbell squat, 3 sets of 8 to 12. And this won't be as big of an issue as it was in the deadlift, but if you're feeling tired after 2 sets, you can stop there. Just you don't want to make yourself too fatigued for the front squat, which we'll get to right now. Front squat, these are going to be way lighter because it's more focused on quads and upright because you got to hold it in front of you, the bar I mean. So you're going to obviously remain more upright. These are going to be way lighter weight, so that's why you can hit it with 3 to 4 sets. And I'd even up the reps a little bit here. I said 8 to 12, but you could go as far as maybe even 10 to 15 would be good. Yeah, I'd say that. If possible, if you have access to a hamstring curl machine, that'd be amazing. 3 sets of 10 to 20. I do not. I mean, I do when I'm at school and it's football season, so I obviously hit it then when I can, but at my home gym, I do not have one. Maybe I should have asked for that for Christmas, but then again, machines are like way too expensive. But anyway, there's that hamstring curl machine, if you have that. And finally, some purely trophic, I don't know, work. So here's some calf raises. I just use body weight and I go till failure. Same thing with the toe raises. Just to isolate the lower section of your I hope my mic's still working. I think it is. Yeah, okay. I think my mic cut out, but I think I fixed it. Alright, anyway. Just to isolate that bottom half of your leg, I should say. With that out of the way, you can add a rest day in between these 2 days, so it'd be like from Wednesday to this would be Tuesday, so you can have a rest day on Wednesday and then go to Thursday for the push, but you cannot. It's depending on how you feel, honestly. Alright, now you're starting with the strength days. The strength days, as I said at the beginning, are going to be lower rep, more strength based, higher percentage of your 1 rep max in nature. Now, you'll notice some of these are pretty unchanged, and that is because a lot of these, besides the big compound lifts, like the bench, the overhead press, a lot of these, and as I get to over these here, a lot of these are unchanged, a lot of exercises are almost purely aesthetic in nature. Like powerlifters, you never see powerlifters doing lateral raises because it doesn't help them in their big three, their bench, squat, and deadlift. But obviously, we're power builders here, right? So we want to both look good and be stronger. So that's our main goal. So that's where we're keeping these, and theirs are unchanged because lateral raises, you can't do heavy on those because then you're just going to mess up your form. So that's why. And there's going to be some more exercises like that that I'm going to get to. Anyway, bench press 3 to 4 sets at 3 to 6 reps of 90%, roughly 90% of your 1 rep max. I say 3 to 4 sets because generally speaking, the lower in reps you can go, the higher in sets. Obviously, you don't want to go more than 5 sets max for this, or any exercise really for that matter, but it's more volume if you hit the more sets for the lower reps. And more volume is good up to a point. You don't want to overdo it because then you'll just be maxed out on gains for that day, and you don't want to overdo it because that could potentially hurt. Anyway, bench press 3 to 4 sets at 3 to 6 reps. So my 1 rep max is 250. 250, and I do 225 for, I think I just did 5 yesterday, I believe. Yeah, so that would be an example of that. Standing overhead press. And you'll notice as these two are slightly more hypertrophic in nature than the bench press. This is absolute, like, just strength. These two are more isolatory. I don't know if that's a word, but they're more isolating. Yeah, so these will be slightly higher reps. You don't want to have less than 5 reps, I'd say, on either of these. So, for example, I don't even know why I 1 rep max on the overhead press. I just do 1 plate for 10 reps. So I need to up that to probably like 145 or 150. 155, maybe? No, 140. Anyway, there's that overhead press. And close grip bench press, same scheme as overhead press. And then again, optional push-ups to fail if you have any energy left. And then the lat raises for hypertrophic purposes. Use whatever dumbbells are available. Next, we've got the pull day for strength. Same scheme as the bench, and you'll notice you don't want to over fatigue yourself. So 2 to 3 sets at 3 to 6 for the deadlift at 90% of your 1 rep max. Pendulum rows, same thing as the overhead press and close grip. 3 sets of 5 to 10. Weighted crunches, and all you'll notice, these 3 are almost purely for aesthetic purposes. I mean, obviously the weighted crunches are going to help you with your core strength, but if you go super heavy, you're just going to have bad form anyway, so you're going to stick in the 10 plus range no matter what. I guess if you really are going to want to stick to it, you could do like 20 reps here and 10 reps here, but no less than 10. Next, with the lying result flies, same thing as the lat raises. You don't want to keep them too low, or else you're going to impede on your form. And the barbell curl, same thing. It's just an aesthetic thing. You don't actually really need bicep. Like, all the strength you're gonna get for pulling is on the deadlift and rows. So this is just an aesthetic thing, and they're fun to do, and they make your biceps bigger, and that's cool. So keep doing the barbell curls. And lastly, leg day for strength. Gonna start off with the barbell squat, same scheme, 3 to 6 reps at 90% of your 1 rep max roughly. Front squat, same thing. Keep it lower, like 5 to 10 instead of 15 plus. If possible, hamstring curl at a slightly lower rep scheme, 10 to 20 versus 8 to 12. Again, if you have, for some of these, if you have a higher weight, like, the form is really going to be impeded on. So you don't want to have no less than 8 reps, I'd say, because if you have less than that, it's going to be too heavy on the hamstring curl. I mean, it's going to be too heavy. You're just going to start swinging it up with momentum and not actually isolating the hamstrings. So keep it at least 8, I'd say. 8 to 12 is a good range for this, I'd say. Calf raises, toe raises, same thing. I just use body weight for as much as I can till failure. And with that, my friends, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or topics of discussion, please put them in the comment section. I will try to answer them. Any more, if you like these working out videos and stuff, tell me and I'll make more of them. My as a quote unquote big strong boy series is doing pretty good, so I'm gonna keep doing that for just until it doesn't get any views, I guess. And even then, I'll still posting it because I don't have anything better to do. But yeah, thanks for watching. Uh, keep lifting hard. Yep. All right. See y'all.